You know, an arsonist will circle back around to the scene of their crime just to watch it burn down. Yesterday, Donald Trump stood on a stage at one of his rallies and proclaimed that he is going to come to Springfield, Ohio in about 2 weeks. Now, we've seen his 2 weeks and where that lands, and let's just set that aside for right now. Here in Dayton, we have a CBS affiliate, and it's the news station that I watch fairly regular, and each and every broadcast of the news includes a fact check of what Donald Trump is saying and what is actually the facts and what's happening in Springfield. And let's take a moment to talk about Springfield. For decades, they've had problems. A lot of things going on, and one of the biggest problems is people were leaving Springfield, and the factories and the warehouses in and around the city were lacking the workforce that they needed to keep operating those businesses. And about 3 years ago, the Republican mayor of Springfield had requested, as a sanctuary city, for through a government program, to have immigrants brought in, legal immigrants. They're here legally, and have brought them in, and they've contributed to the community and the economy, and they're filling the void in those factories and those warehouses of workforce. I hear they're good workers, and they don't just turn around and leave on a minute's notice. They really have added to the economy of Springfield. Now, let's talk about the number. There are 15,000 legal immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, through that government program. And if you haven't noticed, well, Trump started out last week with 20,000. Last night it went up to 32,000. And I swear, that man can't look at a number without inflating it in his head. What's happening in Springfield right now is appalling. In just a week, they've had 40 bomb threats in and around Springfield. And that's including elementary schools, the high school, 2 universities, the city buildings, and even the BMV had to close down. Yesterday, there were bomb threats for 2 Walmarts and a Kroger. So now, they're messing with the food supply. This has got to stop. The children of Springfield, some of them are quite afraid to go to school. And rightfully so. They've been evacuated from their schools, and all the tension and everything going on, They're terrorizing children. That's what's going on. They're terrorizing these children. And our governor, Mike DeWine, sent in 36 state troopers, and their job is to sweep all the schools and make sure that there are no, bombs or anything suspicious going on within the school. And then they stand outside of it all day while school's going on and guard the doors to make sure that the children inside the buildings are safe. And despite that, there's still kids aren't going to school. It's my heart just breaks for those kids. They deserve better than that. Their parents deserve better than that. How many days of lost wages because they had to miss work because they didn't have someone to watch their children during school hours. It's just not right. It's not right at all. And the idea that Donald Trump thinks that he's just going to roll up into Springfield and, hold a rally. Where does he think he's going to hold this rally? Because I got to tell you, there's not too many venues in Springfield. And, the option of going to one of those universities and using their auditorium, it's probably not even there. They're on lockdown, they're doing virtual learning, and they're not going to allow their auditorium to be used in such a manner. And he's not going to go down to, like, the center of town, down to Town Square, and hold a rally in front of the fountain. There is absolutely no way to secure all that. And, it's quite draining on the resources for any of these cities that he goes to. And he also stiffs those cities for, the bill to police when he's there. And, the extra manpower that's needed and woman power. And man, he just needs to stop. It's, Springfield has a population of 58,000 U.S. citizens. And I'm willing to bet there's a whole lot of Trump supporters in amongst them. And, who knows how many of those supporters in the last week have gone angrily out into their yard, ripped up their Trump rant sign, and pulled down their MAGA flag in disgust. It's not exactly the smartest political move as a campaign strategy. I would love to see it stop. It just breaks my heart for the people of my neighbors. We're neighbors. It's happening right here. And if it can happen in Springfield, Ohio, it can happen in your town too. And that's a scary, scary thing. I want to see it stop. And I don't think that's asking too much, but yeah, it is when you consider Donald Trump. He knows no backtracking and walking anything back, and he sure as hell, I don't see him as apologizing to the people of Springfield for what he has thrust into their lives. Honestly, if I was living in Springfield and going through all that they're going through right now, I would be looking to sue Donald Trump for the lost wages and the fear and terroristic tactics and all the bullshit that he has brought to their city. Just saying.